This meeting is being recorded.
G'day. This is Cece from Generation Wellness Global, and I just wanted to share. I just had a few things. I just had a client, and at the end of our session, they said, "This work makes you realize how much you're loved by God and how much you truly matter." And I thought that's just beautiful quote I'd love to share. And but one of the things we talked about in the session was, and I share this because it's very relevant to me at the moment, but as a parent, like we quite often feel like, okay, we're ticking the box, like we've fed the kids, we've bathed the kids, we've got the kids to bed, we've cared for them, we've done, but the funny thing is, like, we think about what we're doing for them, but less about the example that we're being. And it's hard, like we're really busy, and if you're anything like me, you're in the kitchen most of the time during the day. So one of the things that I'm really bad at is sitting down and nourishing myself. And but the thing is, if you want to teach kids the importance of loving themselves and nourishing themselves, and then you tell them but you don't do it, that's a bit of a problem. Because we're here to be examples for others and for our children, and we're not going to be perfect examples, but we need to take a look sometimes at what we're doing. And so it's just really funny because it is relevant for me and for many mums, I'm sure, that we get very busy and we're like, but I've fed them a nourishing meal, that's great. And we kind of forget that sometimes we have to be seen to nourish as well, and we have to be seen to care for and love ourselves if we expect our children to care for and love themselves and others. And so that's a question for you. Like, what do you model? I know in terms of taking care of myself spiritually is something I'm better at. And I know that it was my example of morning prayer and devotions that engaged one of my children in the practice. And then that just sort of became a family habit as my second, followed as well. And so, we are that example. And when others see how blessed we are as a result of our choices, that we have that inner peace, that we have hope in dark times and things like that, that really speaks to people. And so I think, whilst we can worry about the example that we're being to others, like, we are the model that our children follow, whether we want them to or not. And so we really need to think about that example. And I know that's very different depending where you are on your spiritual journey. If you're raised in the church and things like that, it can be very different experiences. But for me, I only came to my faith a few years ago. And so learning to pray regularly, learning to turn to prayer in a difficult situation, learning, being that example spiritually was something I had to learn. And but I think as a parent, we don't think even about just our eating habits or our self-respect and what we're modeling, because we're busy, right? And we've got to just get food on the table or get the lunch boxes packed and get them out the door and get them to school and get stuff done. And so it can be really hard, but I think the rewards are huge if we take the time to be present with them and sit down and connect, but also present with ourselves, to be able to sit down and have that quiet time that we need and nourish ourselves and be good to ourselves. I think that's a really powerful example we can set as well. So I just wanted to share because it was really, really funny that I find that things that are resonating for me often resonate for my clients, and things that are resonating for my clients often, we all have similar experiences. This human experience has a lot of commonalities, and so it might be a little bit different for you, but I'm sure you can relate in some way. And I'd love to hear from you if any of that speaks to you, or if you've had similar experiences. All right, have an awesome day, guys. Thanks for checking in, and please feel free to subscribe or share, or if you want to know about a bit more about the work that I do, it is really beautiful, powerful emotional clearing and spiritual reconnection, and it's kind of got me where I am, so I really love it. It's kind of finding the joy in repentance. That's what we're called to do, and it's beautiful. So if you or someone you know needs a little bit of help with learning to love themselves better, learning that confidence, self-respect, self-esteem, it's self-worth. That's what most things come down to, right? The inner wounds and the inner childhood stuff, or ancestral, because our parents model, right? So they modeled for us their own wounds and their own struggles, and so we've learned from that, and if we don't change it, if we don't shift it and heal it, then we pass it on. And much better to do the work now, I think. So we don't pass it on. All right. Have an amazing day, guys. Take care. Bye.